Good morning, small players. Happy Tuesday. Welcome back from a long weekend. If you are one of our Canadian students or if you were off from work or school for Columbus Day, the market was open. Obviously, as you guys know, we were trading yesterday. Actually, it ended up being a super fun day in the market. And then this morning, we're going to run through the scanner results for today. It's a little before 8 a.m. Well, it's 7:45, and the scanner is pretty scarce. It's still a little early, but we're gonna run through what's here now, and then we're gonna run through the Bitcoin chart real quick because it's super exciting. This latest bull run that it's been having, it's been reaching highs that it hasn't since May. Okay, so actually I'm going to want to touch this one also. So we have resistance here, resistance here, resistance here. So we can say, I guess, 8, 9. And it seems, when it finally was able to break above it, well, both times we got a little squeeze. Squeeze level is probably a break of 9. Because we see here it went a little higher and then nothing really happened, and then once it broke above 9, that's when it squeezed, and then we have a lot of consolidation here at 9.3, so I'm going to put that as a level as well. And then we have this a very sharp rejection of lower prices and a very sharp rejection of lower prices. We want to catch those two candles to chart out the support. I'm going to drag this a little higher so I can catch those two as well. So 834. This level is from a previous day. OCGN is a stock that's very frequently on scanner. So at this specific time, obviously, is not really presenting trading opportunities. It's right below VWAP and in between all of these levels. So at this point, we can wait for a bounce on this support level for a reversal trade to this EMA 29, EMA 20 line and VWAP, or we can wait for a break above. Well, it's a little tricky. So break above 8, 9 is obviously the first level, but then it has a very strong resistance right above it. 10 cents is not a very big move to catch a trade because you're not going to catch all the 10 cents. First, you need to, confirmation of a breakout, then you close out below support, below resistance. So it doesn't leave enough room. So I'd probably rather wait for a break above 9, but I would create the alert for break above 8, 9 also. Okay, that's OCGN. I don't remember trading this stock. There. But decent volume. Enough range as well. This looks like just a news move that's sort of dying right now. So it could be done for the day. Okay, that's where it found support. So it found support in EMA 50 on the 1-minute chart. There's a lot of consolidation here around 8, so that's fine. So at this point, we could wait for a bounce on 8 or that EMA 50 on the 1-minute chart that's ascending. Well, it's almost at 8 also. To have a little trade EMA 50 to VWAP. So that's a 4.5% range. So you can probably catch a 2.5% trade there, maybe even 3. And then, if it breaks above VWAP, then it has a lot of room to the next levels of support. But I will just set the alert for 8 or below. Actually, I'm going to do 803. VT is another stock that's very frequently on scanner, so I'm just going to add it to the watch list as well because I know traders will be looking at it. It's trying to break above VWAP right now. It seems to be rejecting VWAP. So it has these bounces from WeWeb to EMA. Let's see how much of a range we have if we wanted to trade something like that. 3%, okay, that's not too bad to catch maybe a 1% trade. EMA 20 to WeWeb for one of these bounces. And I would use EMA 50 as a risk area for a stop. And then obviously take profits at WeWeb. Keep partial in case we break above WeWeb, and then if it does break above WeWeb, it doesn't really have any clear resistances until 175, 185 and a half days. So break above WeWeb actually gives a lot more range than this EMA to WeWeb, obviously, especially because we see that this EMA 20 line is ascending, so it's closing the gap between that and WeWeb even more, making the profit opportunities smaller and smaller. So I'm just going to do alert here for break above WeWeb. We've traded this one, obviously. Here are the lines on the chart from some point in the past. And again, going back to what we talk about with these small caps, we haven't traded this one in months, and you see the lines on the chart are still here. So it's still trading in the same range now after a big gap up. So it just tells you this is what they do, right? They'll gap up on some news, and then they'll die a slow death. And then in a few months, if they get news, they'll gap up again. And if you're someone that's a beginner that didn't know what they were doing and it held overnight, maybe the second time they drop news, you'll be able to get out break even, or maybe for a smaller loss than originally anticipated. And that's sort of like the best case scenario. I mean, maybe it'll gap up more than when you bought it, but again, like you're waiting months, your money is not doing anything for months, and you're just praying to break even. So obviously not great. So that's why we don't hold these overnight. Well, that's one of the reasons we don't hold these overnight. This one, I mean, again, it's a name that traders will know and recognize, so it might get attention. The volume's a little too low at this specific time to even properly chart out a level, because it has a lot of these doji or candles of no action. But we can put, this is enough. The 1 minute chart, we saw some clear levels. On the 5 minute, it even makes it more clear, right? 3 is a very big resistance. So I would like either a bounce on this EMA 20 line on the 5 minute chart for a move towards VWAP, taking partial profit before that, or a break above 3, which seems to, be a clear level of resistance. Apparently we've traded this one also at some point in our lives. I don't remember it that much. I don't have any fond memories of you, LGHL. I am sorry. I often say we just use and abuse these. We don't get attached. So those two levels are key. I wouldn't bother looking for anything else. I mean, again, the volume's so low, who knows if it's even going to do anything today. I don't want to spend too much time charting something like that. Every time we also have these very sharp projections, either of lower prices for support or higher prices for resistance. We know those are important levels, because if you were able to have a move from here to here and then short sellers were able to bring it down this much, or just selling pressure was able to bring it down that much, that shows you there's a lot of selling there. Okay. So that's that for right now. It doesn't seem like there's any immediate opportunities for a trade. So we can look at the Bitcoin chart. And this is, the buy and sell levels are established here with the Fibonacci retracements and trend extensions. I have a video on this channel, how to use Fibonacci, that shows exactly how we have come to these levels. The purples are obviously where we're buying, and then the green is where we're taking profit. So took our profit here yesterday at 57,000. It's still fighting to establish it. So we'll see, if it will have an opportunity to rally to almost all-time highs, which is really the next long-term profit taking before 73,000. But at the same time, I dragged this shorter trend yesterday just to see if there's any other resistances between them that are more shorter term, just to make sure I take profit, because this happened so quickly in such a short period of time that I don't want to wait too long to take my next profit. And yeah, this one's also not really giving me an extra level. So this was the only extra level I was able to find, 58.5, which whatever. So if it does get there, I'll take profit again. But in the meantime, it's consolidating, so we'll see. We don't know that this is the top. It could just be going through a small consolidation and then rip again towards all-time highs. But if that is the top, I want to just get, the top for now. I just want to get some short-term buy levels. So normally when we're in a bull run like this, the way we trade crypto is we continuously take profit because it's just very volatile. And what I even try to do is take full profit and just then use a portion of the profit to buy on these short-term levels. And we do that again because when it has such an insane bull run, there's so much hysteria, so many new buyers in the market, everyone's using my margin, everyone's over leveraged, and then before you know it, one day there'll be a bad catalyst, it'll drop a little bit, it will start triggering stop losses and margin calls, and then have this sort of a thing happen. And if you're not prepared, and it's easy to get carried away in a bull market when it just seems to keep going up and you don't want to take money out because you feel like it's still going to keep going. If you're not constantly taking money out and taking your profit, you can get stuck in something like this and then, wait 5-6 months to break even. What is that? So, yes. So basically, we take our profit and then we put some of the profit back on the short-term buy levels. So if this happens to prove itself at the top for right now, and if it needs a bigger pullback, then I'll be buying at 53.7, then on this level, which we bought at before, and then on all of these in between if it does a little bounce again. And then once it completes the consolidation, we can find another shorter term profit taking target. I mean, we can even use this very short trend for another shorter term profit target. So we have the start of the trend, the top of the trend, the bottom of the trend. So all of these could also be additional profit takings for shorter term trading, right? And yeah, we'll see where it tops out. And yeah, that's really it, you guys. I just want to open the chart real quick. If everything we were doing here with Fibonacci, the dragging off the levels seemed like rocket science, be sure to watch that video. It's only, I want to say, 25 minutes long, and it explains it in great detail. So happy trading. I will see you guys later in the chat room, and have a nice day.